No, we're literally watching the record books get rewritten in real time. Forget all the pre-tournament predictions, right? This tournament is operating on a scale that is pushing players and managers to their absolute limits. We're seeing jaw-dropping tactical innovations, massive upsets, and just moments of sheer, unforgettable individual brilliance that completely shatter what we thought we knew. It's honestly so rare to see the global football hierarchy disrupted so violently in just a matter of weeks. So today, we're going to unpack exactly what makes this specific tournament a physical and tactical gauntlet unlike literally anything the sport has ever seen. Okay, let's dive into this. What are the biggest moments of the 2026 tournament so far? Now, we're not just going to run through a boring list of scorelines or rehash the highlight reels you've already watched a dozen times on your feed. No way. We are looking much deeper, way beyond the scoreboard. We want to uncover the underlying tactical shifts, the astonishing standout performances, and the wild logistical realities that are actively redefining the beautiful game right before our eyes. We'll examine exactly why some of those heavy favorites are stumbling, why previously unknown squads are totally thriving under the pressure, and what's going to happen next as we enter the most ruthless phase of the competition.
It all starts with one massive, fundamental shift. The number 48. Honestly, this isn't just some minor administrative tweak by FIFA. This is a historic disruption to the entire math of the World Cup. For the very first time, we have a 48-team roster. It's the largest edition ever held. But what does that actually mean on the pitch? Well, it changes the entire calculus of the group stages. With 12 groups of 4 teams, the mathematical threshold for advancing has totally shifted. Managers are being forced to rethink everything: game management, squad rotation, risk tolerance. And it introduces a completely new layer of squad fatigue. It's no longer just about winning one specific match, it's about desperately managing squad depth across a much more grueling schedule. Where a single injury to a star player, yeah, that carries way more weight now.
And obviously, a tournament of this unprecedented size requires an equally massive stage, spanning the United States, Canada, and Mexico. But let's talk about the reality of this sweeping geographic footprint. It is, quite frankly, a logistical hurricane. Teams aren't just battling their opponents, they're battling extreme climate variations and thousands of miles of air travel. Think about it. In the span of just a few days, a squad might go from playing in the oxygen-depleted, high altitude of Mexico City straight into the suffocating, thick humidity of Miami. Now, absolutely, this expanded format gives emerging nations an incredible opportunity to step up and shine on the world stage. But man, it also demands a level of sports science, recovery protocols, and travel management that we have literally never seen required at a World Cup before.
Let's move to and see how this builds our understanding of what's happening directly on the pitch. Because while that macro geography is a massive hurdle, the tactical evolution on the grass has been razor sharp. We're seeing this fascinating adaptation to the physical toll of the tournament. Because of the intense heat and travel fatigue, so many teams are completely rethinking their approach. We're seeing widespread adoption of lower block defending, sitting deep to conserve energy during that brutal midday heat, beautifully contrasted with explosive, fast-attacking transitions using inverted fullbacks pushing right into the midfield. The quality hasn't been diluted by the expansion at all. Instead, the grueling conditions have forced managers into a thrilling variety of high-stakes tactical gambles.
Now, what's really interesting here is the fascinating clash of philosophies we are watching unfold. On one side, you have the established giants, right? The traditional powerhouses showing strong defense. They're relying on methodical possession, leveraging their deep squads and tactical mastery to control the tempo and limit their physical exertion. But then we have the underdog nations completely disrupting the old guard. Instead of sitting back in fear, these emerging teams are playing with absolute abandon. They're dropping these high-risk, fearless, relentless pressing systems to totally rattle the favorites, and it's working. They're securing memorable results by simply outworking and outrunning opponents who probably expected an easy victory. It's exactly this friction between methodical control and chaotic, fearless energy that makes every single match a tactical thriller. And you know what? That friction is also the perfect forge for a brand new generation of talent. We are witnessing the rise of emerging global stars, and the way they are playing is just absolutely captivating. Contrast the immense, suffocating pressure of a 48-team World Cup with the utterly fearless naivety of these young players making their debut. Modern academies are producing teenagers who are so incredibly tactically mature, they can step onto the pitch and dictate the tempo against guys who are 10-year international veterans. The pressure that usually breaks seasoned players, it seems to barely even register for these kids. They're pulling off audacious tricks and complex tactical rotations on football's biggest stage, standing shoulder to shoulder with top established footballers without missing a single beat. And this brilliantly illustrates the specific tactical roles driving all this drama, and really how a winning team is being built in 2026. Look at the creative midfielders. They aren't just recycling possession anymore. They are actively breaking defensive lines and producing unforgettable, hyper-efficient moments that just bypass those stubborn lower blocks. Then we have the clinical strikers. Their lethal finishing is turning half chances into massive global club attention overnight. And then, arguably the most critical role given the expanded knockout format, world-class goalkeepers. They aren't just shot stoppers leading their national teams anymore, they're sweeping behind high defensive lines, acting as the ultimate playmakers from the back. These three pillars are generating the tactical edge needed to survive this tournament, creating the new stars of tomorrow in the process. But look, the heartbeat of this tournament extends far beyond the tactical formations on the pitch. We have to zoom back out to the stadiums, because it is pulsating through the electric fan atmosphere. Thanks to the unique nature of hosting across three massive North American countries, the cross-border travel has created these incredible melting pot fan zones that we have literally never seen before in World Cup history. Supporters from all over the globe are blending their traditions, creating this stunning visual and auditory spectacle. You've got massive flags, vibrant, colorful celebrations, songs and drums echoing through cities that have completely surrendered to football fever. The sheer cultural collision happening in these host cities is generating unforgettable scenes that make the atmosphere almost as compelling as the athletic spectacle itself. Yet, the roar inside those massive stadiums represents just a tiny fraction of the actual global audience. The tournament's true macro impact is driven by a completely transformed media landscape. Fans are being followed by millions through television and online streaming platforms. But they're no longer just sitting down to watch a standard 90-minute broadcast. They are consuming this tournament through a deeply fragmented, multi-screen experience. Millions are streaming live matches while simultaneously watching tactical breakdowns on their phones, engaging with real-time data overlays, or listening to alternative analytical audio streams. It is an immersive, shared global experience. No matter where you are, the entire world is constantly connected, dissecting every single pass and dramatic finish, really reinforcing why football remains the world's most popular sport. And that digital intensity, it is about to peak because the stakes have never been higher. As we push forward into what comes next, teams are battling for qualification, and we hit the harsh reality of the new tournament format, the introduction of the round of 32. This extra knockout round is a brutal addition. It adds a completely new layer of physical and mental exhaustion, making the path to lift that iconic World Cup trophy longer and more grueling than any previous generation of players has ever had to face. Teams know that to reach the final, they have to survive a vicious gauntlet of sudden death matches. Their legs will be heavier, the travel fatigue will be compounding, and the pressure will be absolutely relentless. So the crucial point is that in these upcoming knockout rounds, the margin for error completely evaporates. Small mistakes decide big matches. A single delayed reaction from a tired center back, a fractional misstep in executing an offside trap, or just a momentary lapse in concentration, that doesn't just cost you a goal, it instantly ends a nation's dream. The compounding physical exhaustion makes these microscopic errors infinitely more likely, which makes every single minute of the action incredibly tense to watch. You literally cannot look away. The entire destiny of the tournament can pivot on one heavy touch or one brilliant flash of individual skill in the dying seconds of a match. Every single second is absolutely crucial. Which leaves us with the ultimate question. Which nation will become the next world champion? Who actually has the tactical depth, the mental resilience, and the sheer stamina to navigate the extreme travel, the expanded field, and the crushing exhaustion? Will one of the old guard hold their ground and execute an absolute masterclass in tournament management? Or are we about to witness an underdog continuously outrun the odds to crown a first-time king? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep your eyes closely fixed on the pitch, because this unprecedented World Cup is a beautifully unpredictable journey, and honestly, the most dramatic chapters are still waiting to be written.